With the infinite vibrancy of my heart, I greet you all. Much blessings, much love. And now I would love to share my deep insight on so-called unconsciousness or subconsciousness. That unconsciousness is really just a dream from which we wake up, because there is no real unconsciousness. Everything is consciousness. And what we are experiencing as, for example, unconscious actions and reactions, subconscious impulses and feelings, is just deeper consciousness that is being revealed to us from this time-space journey perspective. So all of those seemingly unconscious, unreasonable, or spontaneous events, actions, and reactions is just invitation to dive deeper into the mystery of your infinite being, the mystery of life, the mystery of creation. And yes, and then you can see that what previously looked something unconscious or random, now you see the deeper intention behind it. For example, in art, when we feel inspiration to create some art, some painting, some music, it seems like it comes out unconsciously, spontaneously, just from that state of flow. And in result, those symbols that we create through art, we cannot necessarily and immediately explain through linear thought and language process, but it speaks deeper to our being, to a deeper layers of our being, and we can feel great resonance in our heart. And even with those so-called negative events, those seeming mistakes that we create, and negative reactions, emotions that arise out of that, is also very intentional. Because many times when we create even small mistakes, even small accidents, so-called, happens, but we get very big inner reaction to that. So that tells something. That tells that we subconsciously and consciously create those events for that inner trigger, to pay our attention many times to our deeper inner wounds that we carry, maybe from childhood and from all of this conditioning in this lifetime, because we were taught to not look at that, to avoid that at any cost. But still, you cannot get rid of yourself. So that inner part, that separated part of yourself, still cries for love, still cries for acceptance, and creates all that chaos in your life to bring your attention down, so to speak. Because the more you resist to accept your all feelings, the more those feelings will carry you to hell. So you can finally give unconditional love to yourself, to those most hurt parts of yourself, to those feelings of being a failure or unworthy or guilt. So yeah, you need to completely allow those feelings, that darkness, to even overwhelm all of your experience. And when you really surrender to it, consciously, just allowing it to expand, to express itself. Again, when you don't need any negative outward actions or conflicts, you don't need to create that. When you fully accept it in your inner world. And then what happens in that full, complete acceptance and allowance? You become opened to receive the healing love, the healing light of your infinite, absolute consciousness. And yes, and when those unconscious and subconscious energies is recycled, is renewed, and it brings new inspirations to your life, to your art, to your creativity, to your compassion and drive to educate and be kind to your fellow brothers and sisters. So the message is that behind all what we call unconscious and subconscious, there is deeper consciousness. And yes, we have thought that our everyday thinking mind is higher. It is equal to consciousness, and it is higher than subconscious. That some subconscious mind is lower than our conscious mind. But that is not really the case. It is just arrogance and ignorance. When we think that with this thinking mind in your head, you are in charge of everything. And subconscious is some kind of lower layer that you need to deal with. But actually, there is much more consciousness in your subconscious mind. It's just more expanded. It expresses itself through feelings, and beliefs that also creates the way you think seemingly consciously. But really it is much more, even beyond those beliefs. There is even deeper consciousness. What I really call consciousness is beyond all of those programs of thinking, emotions, beliefs. It is just intuitive knowingness. It is that you, real you, the infinite, eternal you, as a spark of God, which is in union with everything, with all creation. And that deepest you communicates with you as this physical entity through that purest, deepest intuition. Or we can also call it inspiration, love, compassion. That feeling that you feel holy. It's like you feel it with all of your being, that this is the right path, this is the right choice, even beyond explanation, because you are it and you know it, and you cannot fool it. Only when you start to think with your conditional mind, you can easily get lost in definitions. What is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong. Because this mind can mix all of those meanings. So whenever you feel lost, confused, in doubt, don't try to figure it out. It is just alarm signal to go back to your heart, to go back to your sacred heart, to connect with that deeper knowingness that you are. So yeah, it comes just from being. Very, very simple. Because yes, Almighty God functions through absolute simplicity. Because why he would need to create a struggle when he have access to everything, when it is everything. So yeah, there is invitation to acknowledge how much you exhaust yourself through striving to get what you want. When you're trying to force life to meet your insistences, expectations, in a certain ways, in a certain time, as fast as it can, and so on. So when we do that, we can see that paradox that those things that we force just runs away from us or rebels against us, because that is not a natural way. Natural way is just being and allowing everything to come and serve and go in a natural flow, in an effortless flow. That is the meaning of so-called Wu Wei, doing without doing. And it is also knowing without knowing, because you are it directly. It is being. In essence, it is just being. Very, very simple. So when you know that, you can also complicate that natural way if to whatever degree you desire, to whatever degree it feels good, fun, meaningful to you. But now you can do it consciously. And when you know that you are doing it consciously, it is like a play that you are just playing. You are not serious about it, but you can be sincere. So with that, you also know. When you know you are consciously choosing it, you can always choose to come back to that pure, natural simplicity. That works always, always, always flawlessly, perfectly. And yes, for that simplicity, it will also gonna take care of all of your negative beliefs, your toxic habits, because when you are resting as that eternal, infinite being, you are beyond all of those limitations. And then, yeah, all of those layers of your consciousness, those lower layers of your consciousness, just naturally reassembles to reflect, to harmonize, to reflect that perfection of your being, to reflect that unified harmony of life. So the good news is that you don't need to work on it. Just unconditionally loving awareness does everything perfectly without sense of I am a separate doer. then you will see the meaning behind this topic that I called unconsciousness is just a dream from which we wake up. Because everything is just one infinite genius intelligence playing with itself very intentionally, very wisely, very lovingly. It oversees everything, and nothing is left out. Nothing is out of care. It is one consciousness in its loving, unified movement. And it is way beyond what we typically have been taught about consciousness as this little tiny human self-conscious thinking mind. It is just a speck of dust compared to what consciousness really is. So I encourage you to wake up to the consciousness of your infinite eternal being. And enjoy your infinite creation, enjoy your revelation of this also infinite eternal mystery that you are. Enjoy.